Hi there guys, I hope you have all had a very good Christmas. Now, Anthony Joshua has conceded that he might, in fact he is probably going to have to vacate one of his world titles. And that is going to be very difficult considering he worked so hard to unify all of the titles except the WBC world title, and then losing them at Madison Square Garden on June 1st and then winning them back in epic fashion in Saudi Arabia on December 7th. But Anthony Joshua has now conceded that he is going to likely have to vacate a belt, and he has explained that is going to be very difficult. This is what he had to say when asked how he would feel when he has to vacate a belt. I would hate it because it's so hard to go around and collect all these belts. It's really difficult and I've kept hold of them for so many years. So to have to vacate because of boxing politics would be annoying, but there's things that are out of my control. If I do lose one, I know I'll be able to get it back. So a few things stick out in that statement from Anthony Joshua. Number one, he believes he's going to have to vacate a belt, and obviously he's not happy about that. No champion wants to give up their belts, especially if they are not challenging for them in the ring. I mean, it's pretty pointless losing a belt if you haven't lost it inside the ring. Anthony Joshua worked very hard to get those belts together and very hard to beat Andy Ruiz Jr. and reclaim them. Now, all of a sudden, he's going to have to vacate one. But the one thing I did take from it is he said he can easily get those belts back. So that kind of means he's going to go fight his IBF mandatory, Kubrat Pulev, and vacate the WBO. In my opinion, that is what he is going to do, because then he can easily win the WBO belt back, because the vacant title will be contested between Alexander Usyk and Joseph Parker, two matchroom fighters, meaning that there would be no politics in making a unification fight between the winner of that fight. We know Joe Parker will do it because he's done it before. And Alexander Usyk has expressed a keen interest to fight Anthony Joshua, so we know that fight will happen. So ultimately, I believe it's going to be the WBO belt that Anthony Joshua relinquishes, because that is the belt that he can go and challenge for. That is the belt he can go and unify for straight away after dealing with his IBF mandatory. So yes, he will have to vacate that belt now, but towards the end of next year, he can challenge for it straight away again. And that just prevents the politics of the sport, because if he were to vacate the IBF belt, then the belt will be contested between Kubrat Pulev and Adam Kownacki. Adam Kownacki is a PBC fighter and Kubrat Pulev is a top rank fighter. Now, top rank isn't going to be that hard to deal with. I mean, they're not going to be easy, but not as hard as PBC. So if Adam Kownacki were to win that fight and gain the IBF title, then Anthony Joshua has no chance at challenging for that title, because they just won't do it. You can 100% guarantee that PBC will block any opportunities for Adam Kownacki to fight Anthony Joshua and put his IBF title on the line. The only thing they will be interested in is a unification fight between Adam Kownacki and Deontay Wilder. If Adam Kownacki were to get the opportunity to fight for the vacant IBF title, if Anthony Joshua did vacate it, the first thing they would do is feed him to Deontay Wilder, so that Deontay Wilder would become unified heavyweight champion. And then guess what? He would never fight Anthony Joshua. He's not going to anyway, but that would just give Deontay Wilder more of a reason to not fight Anthony Joshua, because he has two world titles. He will say he wants 50-50, or probably then he will say he wants 60-40 in his favour, just to make sure they do not do the fight. And then he will say, I don't need to fight AJ, I'm the best heavyweight in the world because I have two world titles, WBC and IBF. So that would be the plan of PBC if they were to get their hands on the IBF belt. So it's really important that they don't, because they will completely shut Anthony Joshua out and make sure he does not have an opportunity to challenge for that belt again. So the WBO needs to be the belt that he vacates, and I believe it will be, especially considering that statement saying that he can go and challenge for the belt and easily win them back, meaning that he probably will vacate the WBO and let Usyk and Parker fight out for the vacant title. Then he can unify with the winner. Now, I'm not really that bothered about where the belts are, what platform they are on. As long as the fighter who has the belt deserves to have it, then I don't mind. But the reason why I don't want the IBF belt to go on PBC is because I know what they will do. They will feed Adam Kownacki to Deontay Wilder so he can unify. And let's be real, Deontay Wilder would beat Adam Kownacki. Adam Kownacki is a good fighter, but he is not at that level, I don't believe. So Deontay Wilder will become unified champion. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just he will use that as an excuse to not fight Anthony Joshua. So that is why I don't want the IBF belt to end up on PBC, because I know they will use the politics of boxing to shut out Matchroom fighters from having that opportunity. And obviously you have Dylan White as well on Matchroom, who will be shut out from that opportunity as well. and Dillian Whyte is way overdue a world title fight. And let's be real, the Matchroom fighters do actually fight everyone. I mean, they will fight anyone. I mean, Anthony Joshua gave Andy Ruiz Jr. the opportunity. He was on PBC. Do you think that if someone pulled out against Deontay Wilder, do you think they would allow Dillian Whyte or someone like that to go in as a late replacement, a Matchroom fighter? Of course they would not. They would get someone who is on their platform or on a different platform, because they wouldn't want to give a Matchroom fighter the opportunity. But that is the one good thing about Matchroom. They will give anyone the opportunity, and they are not worried about the politics of the sport. That is what is so annoying about PBC. They use the politics of the sport to duck and dive, and they are very difficult to deal with and to work with. But anyway guys, what are your thoughts on this? Anthony Joshua regretfully saying he's going to have to vacate one of his belts. That is going to be the likely thing that is going to happen because of the politics of the sport. And what are your thoughts on him almost hinting it's going to be the WBO? I mean, I might be clutching at straws, but that is definitely the best title to vacate because it remains on the Matchroom platform, meaning that the politics won't get in the way of a unification fight. Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. And again, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.